to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, you have your minutes before you from the previous meeting.
Motion, we accept the minutes.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, Andy.
The water plant's treated 851,670 gallons of water since our August 8th meeting. Our average daily usage is up a little bit in the last 2 weeks to 60,833 per day. Filters were backwashed on August 11th and 18th. Completed our trihalomethanes and acetic acid tests for disinfection byproducts and our radionuclide test. Just got lead and copper to do next week. Water meter's been read for the month of August. Been performing daily checks at the lift station and the sewer plant. The sewer plant's closed and we're not discharging. Our weekly sewer samples are complete. Under streets, the mosquito traps in Atlanta have tested positive for West Nile virus again, and the Hamilton County Health Department has sprayed. I just want to remind everyone to watch for buckets, containers, old tires, anything that can hold water. They're breeding ground for mosquitoes. Everything is, they sent me a confirmation back, but everything is set up for green tree plastics on the benches. And I just put all the pricing back on there again that we talked about at the last meeting. So we're ready to go. And then completed the work of the ball diamond until the gates come in. I want to thank Arcadia. I borrowed their tractor to till all that dirt and seed it. Demolition of the house on Railroad Street. I met with Steve Hartley today. It's going to be completed within the next 3 weeks at the longest time, but sooner if we have any rainy day. He's going to, if we get a rain day between now and that date, he's going to come do it on the rain day. It's all ready to go. And then I have a proposal here for you guys to look at from, pass it around. It's from Ace Hardware in Noblesville. And it's to convert all of our fluorescent lights to LEDs, and it will eliminate these ballasts in the lights. And after the Duke Energy rebate, and the hardware will fill out the rebate and send it in for us, our final cost would be $2,339.26, and our annual savings would be $718 a year based on today's rates. So it'll have a 2.5-year payback at today's rates. But these ballasts are up to about $37 a piece, and each light's got 2 of them in it.
Doesn't take long.
The bulbs are $20 a piece. Menards carries the same bulb, but believe it or not, their price is $10 less per bulb. So it's a good price.
Is this just for this building, shelter house?
It's for here, the shelter house, the water plant, the sewer plant. It's for those 4 buildings.
And they do the install?
Nope.
No.
We have to do the install. The bulb price is, or the bulb life, it's 50,000 hours. So that's like 24 years. If you look at that, if they last, if the bulbs last for 50,000 hours, the total savings over the life of the bulb for us at today's energy rates would be over $19,000.
Is that the new fixtures or is that just bulbs or?
Bulb.
Just bulbs, so you don't have to worry about the ballast or anything anymore?
You bypass the ballast. You don't use the LED bulb to use the ballast. They do sell a replacement bulb, like a direct replacement, and you keep using the ballast, but
Now,
there's no reason to do that.
does that package do the new tombstones come with that, or is that something we have to purchase? in
No, these
addition to
bulbs
that?
fit it. It's made to replace a T12, T8 bulb. At least the ones he showed me, and you wire around the ballast. You switch that one wire over and did away with ours on full ballast.
So the existing fixtures, the existing, you know,
Yeah.
I call them tombstones.
Right,
but
yeah,
that's
they
what
stay.
look like.
Yep, they stay. They just have to know which fixture we have at which location for the right wall flow, as far as the pin spacing. Yep.
All of ours are T8s, huh?
Here, no,
T12s.
well, we converted the shelter house to eights, but it's a mixture of T12s and T8s. The water plant and the sewer plant are eights. This is T12s and everything else is eights, yeah. But we had to do a bulb count at each facility and which, type of bulb it was. But yeah, it's swapping the wire and bypassing the thing and putting the bulb.
If we were to go with that, Robin, what fund would that, we need to look at?
I think we could take it from or we could split it for that matter. Wait a minute, where did you say?
Water plant, sewer plant, shelter house, and here.
Well, water and sewer, we would take out water and sewer. And then,
This was the most
shelter house,
expensive one.
we could take either, I wouldn't wanna take it out of the park fund, just because we could take that out of festival and then for here. We have 1,900 in repairs and maintenance, and we still have a decent amount of buildings, so we could spread it out.
This building was the highest, it had the most,
Sure.
it used the most energy and had the most bulbs.
That's probably something that we need to do. Have these lights on.
Came up to, they base it off our current electric bills, it's $718 a year we save in power.
I know we've done some of this in school, not a lot of it. We've done some. The lighting is a lot brighter. That's what I noticed, as well as the cost savings, I mean, that actual output of the lamp is.
Yeah, I think the rebate was a little over $700 from due. Yep, for it.
Any discussion on this evening? Comments?
I think it's the way of the future.
If you guys think about it, let me know another meeting. If you
Want to table it?
If you want to review that.
I'd say if we have
Yep.
funds and, you know, might as well do it if we're thinking about it.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we go move forward with it.
Your second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So let them know.
I assume that'd be a rainy day project, or this, you know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be time consuming.
Yeah. I mean, I figured I'd start here and do all these ones that are broke or only have half the lights going first. Keep those going. And then, winter building, not a lot going on. I had one zoning inquiry, one building permit inquiry, and then I am still waiting to hear from the county about the collapsed building at 515 South Central. I'll let you know as soon as they get back with me.
Where are the mosquito traps located?
Various locations. I know one's by the fire station, but I didn't ask Alex where he had the other one.
Somebody had asked me, and I,
Well, I know one's at the fire station,
okay.
but I have to find out, because I think he put 3 up here, but I don't know.
In town though.
They're in town, though.
Okay.
They're not at the sewer plant or water plant, they're in town,
Okay.
yeah.
Since they still tested positive after they sprayed, are they gonna spray again?
I don't know that they tested positive after they sprayed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They tested positive, so they sprayed, but they're monitoring, the health department monitors it.
I heard him go through the other night. I don't know what night it was.
Yeah, he actually did the water plant and sewer plant one. Also, they're bad up there. Yeah,
Is there anything floating in those ponds that keep the mosquitoes down?
much duckweed.
No, I didn't know if there was chemical, I mean, I didn't know if there were things that you could float in there that kept the mosquitoes down. No?
That's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Mary's absent tonight.
He's on vacation.
Okay. Jerry?
Those get passed out. And it's been a busy 2 weeks,
It has.
so.
Thank you.
Okay, first item on my list here, or I want to report is, White River Township Fire Department would love to give us another engine. I don't think, personally, I don't know if we want to go, but I told Chief Colbert that I would bring it before you guys. It's a 1989 custom cab pumper. It's an old Carmel Fire Department pumper that they run as a rescue. They received another engine from Carmel. I have not seen it in a while. My concern is a lot of the equipment has been taken off of it since they've had it now about 5-6 years. They haven't operated the pump in that time because they run it as a rescue truck. So, but like I said, I told Chief Colbert that I would let you guys know that. I ran across him at the Chiefs meeting on Thursday, and so I just keep that on the back burner. I'll go check it out, see if we even want to think about going that route, which I don't think we do, to be honest with you. But I told him we would check it out, or I'd check into it for him. Okay, item number 2, I'd like the town council to approve the assistant chief. I have 2 of them I'd like to put in place, Todd Gallion being one of them, the other one being Kevin Strasball. I'd like for the council to approve those. Kevin has started helping me get through everything that we need to do here, hopefully get it up and going before the Earth Festival. He's taking care of the EMS side of that for me. And Todd, I spoke with him on Sunday for about 3 hours, and he's willing to do the other assistant chief if the town council so sees that. And but the only thing with Todd is his job. He works he works 2 days, off 2, goes back and works another 2, off 3. And in the fall, that job will go away. So he's hoping to stay with GM, hoping to stay in the community. But I think he would, again, his knowledge will help me a lot here as we could try to get this thing back up and running. So again, I know in our bylaws it says the officers are to be approved by the town council. So,
Would someone like to
Make the motion.
move on that this evening?
So I'd make a motion that we appoint the 2 as assistant fire chiefs per Jerry's request.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
thank you. Okay, item number 3, again, trying to get everything completed so that we can have the doors open for the Earth Festival. Tomorrow night, I'm sitting down with Ryan Horrine, along with Chiefs Musar, Souders, and Chief Overholser will not be able to be here tomorrow night, but there'll be a representative here from Cicero on the putting together the event action plan for the festival. So we're starting. We're going to meet tomorrow night on that. And Robin, you might be able to help me on the next one. The MOU.
Yes, I have a note on my desk to get that out for you.
Okay, because I was asked today by Cicero if that was ready to be signed.
It
So,
can be real quick.
okay, thank you. At the last meeting, town council meeting, I was told that the smokehouse was going to be up in the public safety area. I have reached out to the Cicero Township. They have a cadet program, and they're willing to come down and man that for us. It's ages 14 to 18. That would be a great job for that group of kids. So we'll make that happen. Still talking with other departments around us, trying to get some staffing down at the station for that day. And then the insurance, do we have insurance yet? Are we covered?
We need to get the firefighters covered. We have stuff,
Right.
buildings and all that
But we
is
just, we
covered.
need
but
whatever the code, Indiana code says, we have to, so is that Downey, is that where you
are
wanna go?
we,
Or McNeil?
We will, yeah, well, we'll go through Walker,
Okay,
for,
Walker and Associates.
yeah, I'll go through them.
Okay,
But I think we go through, we'll talk about the work comp.
okay. Item number 4, apparatus and equipment. The PMs for both the engine and the squad should be done this week. I spoke with Dave Cook last week, and he's hoping to get here sometime this week to complete those. I will tell you that on Friday evening, I spent a couple hours on the squad, the little mini pumper. There was, I think, 4 of the 6 tires were flat. Didn't register anything on the air gauge. But I can tell you, and I think in our conversations, those tires are shot. I mean, they're weather cracked bad. So we'll, and I'm sure that those PMs, when he comes and goes through those trucks, I'm sure he'll tell us that on his list that he puts on each truck. Some good news, I found some paperwork down at the station that our Cascade breathing air system was serviced on January the 19th, 2017, and I believe that the territory paid for that. So that's good. That's at least we have. That's a major thing down there, and that is to be serviced every year. So I did find the paperwork for that, and I did make a copy. If you guys want, Robin, do you need a copy of that for your files up here?
Not unless you,
Okay.
not
Well, I'm
unless you
gonna
feel
put it-
better having a second set.
Well, I'm going to put together a file down there, and so okay. Okay, on the radios, we have 3 portables and 2 mobiles down at the station. Portables being the handheld. We have 2 mobiles. One is in engine 51. The other one was used as a station radio down there. There is none in the squad. Those mobile radios are expensive. Maybe, I know a lot of departments are going the route of portables or handhelds in their apparatus, which is a little cheaper. And that's something that I think we need to look at down the road. That don't have to do it now. The ownership of those radios. At the chief's meeting, I spoke with Chief Muzar from Jackson. He informed me that he was ordered to have those radios turned off by the county because they're under the territories or the lease agreement or whatever. I can tell you those radios were not turned off. When I called the county to confirm that, they told me that they did not turn those radios off, which is, it's a blessing. All we need to do is do the upgrades to them, and I'm working on that. Matter of fact, I started that today, calling down to the county to see when and who I need to talk to for that portion of it.
One thing the commissioners told us when we met with them last year was, they didn't give us a lot of assistance, but they did say that they could possibly help us out with radios and loan us radios if you need
Well, that's
more.
good.
I would talk to Ryan about it.
And that's where tomorrow night, that's on my list,
Okay.
to talk with him, because he's the one that told me that they weren't turned off. So,
Okay.
and that, like I say, that's a blessing right there.
Okay.
I will tell you that the 3 that we have and all the batteries down there all have been charged and all took charges and through the conditioner and the charger, so we're good on that end. The station-based radio, like I said, one of those mobiles was being used. It had a power pack on it tied to the, an antenna system or whatever. It was dropped down in what they call, I think they were calling a locker room right outside the girls' little, I guess that storage area that was divided in half or whatever. What I'm hoping, and I need to get that base station back up to the front of the station in what was originally called the radio room. And I'm hoping that the cables are coiled somewhere up in the ceiling somewhere.
It's there. Ain't got that.
Okay. So hopefully I can get that wiring all the way back up front and drop that down under the, so. I haven't had time to check that part of it yet, but that's something that we're working on. The computer system that's down at the station is it's a Dell desktop computer system. It's in the little small office down there that was converted when the territory started, and it is on the county server system. And I just found out today who I need to start talking with on that to get that back up and running. It's locked. I think we're locked out. We don't know. Nobody knows the password except the county. And then Robin, on that, I'm going to have to go back to Endeavor and get an IP. What do we call it?
Addressable IP.
Yeah.
That's what I've got at the water plant.
So I don't know how, they said it might cost a little bit, but we need that before we can get that system back up and running down there.
So you need the IP,
Addressable IP.
Yeah.
That's what we have at the water plant for our
addressable IP.
IP number, so it'll be assigned to that location only, because that's the software we have out there, has to have it.
Yeah, I saw, I got an email here somewhere from the county that
I don't even know if they even charge us for it, actually.
it requires it's called a static IP address.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we have 2 heart saver defibrillators down there that, again, Kevin has went through, and to do the PMs on those, it's going to take about they're $125 each. The batteries are about $110, but I got some good news today. Riverview Hospital came down today and met with Kevin, Steve Freeman, who's their director of education, and he's going to try to replace those through some foundation free. So,
Awesome.
on Friday, I finally crossed paths with Tammy Williams down at the bus barn. Good thing I did, because I guess the school changed systems or something at the 1st of July, and they went to a different system, and all the fobs that we had down here at the station were inactive. Even the only name in the system was Todd, and he was even inactive. So if we went to try to get fuel, we couldn't have gotten fuel. So I've added names to the list. I've got the fobs reset, so we're good to go. And the records down there indicated that the engine was last fueled in June of 2016. I can tell you the squad has no gas in it. It's sitting on E, so we'll get some fuel in it. It did start though when I. Okay, I've started getting ready to start the interviews on the applications. Let me cut on number 6 on A. I'll come back to that, but I want to. There was a cabinet down here at the station that has EMS supplies in it. A lot of them are ALS supplies, stuff that we can't use as a department. And so Kevin brought Steve Freeman up today. Most of them were expired because they've been in that cabinet so long. You can use those for training purposes. So Steve Freeman took those. I mean, we couldn't use them anyway. So, housekeeping under number 7. I'm starting to try to move things around down there. If you go down there, it looks like a garage sale because I got tables out in one bay, and I'm finding stuff everywhere. So I bring stuff out, put them on the tables. But the radio room will be where you walk in the front of the station where the glass window is. That'll be the radio room, which that's what it was when it was built. I'm putting that back. The storage room is where the territory has their little office down there. That's the area where they divide it in half. That'll be, I'm going to make that a secured storage. The chief's office up front, I'm going to leave that as a dormitory. I'm going to leave that where you can actually, we'll have bunks or whatever in there, bedding, so that you can sleep if you have to there. And then the chief's office, I'm going to put back in that little, what they call the little locker room. the other little portion of that split off area. Been cleaning, been killing spiders. It's been me against the spiders down there, so I've been cleaning, and I still got the kitchen to do in both restrooms, and I should be done. I want to thank Robin for letting me use the sweeper from up here. The sign out front by the flagpole, that weather beats it up pretty bad out front. I'd like to get a cost on maybe seeing what we can, to have that restored, or even buy paint and restore it ourselves. And then I'd like to relocate that sign back against the front of the station and maybe put it on the post in between the two windows on the front of the station. And if you'll notice, it says Station 50 on it, and it really should be Station 51. That was done back when the sign was made, and then I was told Sunday that about 2 weeks after the sign was made, delivered, they changed it to 51. So I can tell you that I have a new flag and new rope for the flagpole. I just need to get a ladder up here, probably bring Cicero's up and have them restring that flagpole for us. I need to check the lighting there also, because if you fly the flag, you really need to illuminate it at night. I don't really want to drive up every night and take the flag down, unless I can get Johnny to come over and do that for me.
I'll take care of it for you.
At the Chiefs meeting on Thursday, the discussion was mutual aid agreements. I guess across the county, there's multiple mutual aid agreements between departments. And they want to go back to like it was in the 70s with just one mutual aid agreement. And Chief Reed of Westfield Fire Department has been put in charge of that to make that happen. So whenever that happens here in the future, I'll bring that before the board, and we'll have council look at it, and then we'll have our legal person look at it also. Good news, Mr. Stoops, Doug Stoops, when the territory moved into the station, I guess they were throwing things away. He saved a whole package of these patches.
Yay.
So that's good news. That's an expense that we don't have to worry about. So I think there's about 30 of them.
Yeah, be sure and thank Doug for that, and I'll thank him as well. First thing.
Okay, let's go back to the inventory under A. Our meeting on Sunday, and I have started the inventory, and I'm about halfway through it, to be honest with you. It's just, there's a lot of stuff down there. I'm trying to make sure that what the inventory lists and stuff are matching. I can tell you that when the territory was formed, we had 9 air packs and 27 air bottles. We got 5 air packs back, and I think the count was, we've got 12 bottles back. So we're missing.
More than we had.
Yeah, we're missing 15 air bottles.
And 4 packs.
And 4 packs. I'm still trying to put a number on the face pieces for those, the mask. I can tell you, well, let's go back. Todd shared with me on Sunday that those air packs down there, and when we formed the territory, those air packs was from a grant that the department received. I'm still trying to put my hands on that paperwork.
Well, we sold the air packs and gave the money to the territory.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, we sold the air packs.
Okay. Did we send 9 packs down to them?
We sold them.
Oh, you sold it. You sold everything.
Yep, we sold the whole.
You sold the 9 air packs.
Because they were still, Jackson was still using low pressure bottles. We had 4,000-pound bottles and they had 2s.
Okay. See, I wasn't shared with them.
Yeah,
We were guaranteed to get back the same amount of bottles and air packs at
Yeah,
least
so
we
we
had
sold-
starting into the territory.
We sold, but we kept some of our bottles. We sold each air pack with 2 bottles, which would have been 18. So we had 9 spare bottles that got kept. But we sold them for $4,500, and then that money went into the territory.
Okay. So that's something then, if, that's above my head. So, that's something we might, again, I don't know if that's something we wanna talk to council with, and,
But you're saying we have 9 now.
No,
no.
We have 5.
We got
We have
5.
5 now.
And we're missing 4.
missing 4 air packs and 15 bottles.
Yeah.
So they said they replaced them.
I can also tell you that, again, I was told that when we formed the territory, we had 17 portable radios, and we got 3 back. So we're missing 14. I can also tell you that we had 3 mobile radios, and we only got 2 back. So I'm still going through pagers, the VHF pagers down there. I've got several down there. Of course, at the last meeting, I kind of updated you on the turnout gear, where we stood on it. And then the other thing they pointed out was that we had 2 20-pound CO2 fire extinguishers. We did get 2 back. But one of them is not even close to the other one, and it needs to be hydroed. I'm not even sure it's a 20-pound, to be honest with you. So we got one of those back. Still, like I say, still going through the inventory. So just not enough hours in the day.
How much is one air pack? You go out and buy it.
Probably between $5 and $6 grand.
And then the extra bottles. See, we had 3 bottles for each air pack.
Right. So I don't know what the portable radios, probably what do you guys pay for on your side?
About $4,000 a piece. 3,800, something like that. Times.
And the mobiles are more than that.
Yeah, they're like $5,400, I think.
So,
So 12 times 3,800.
that's all I have. That's all I have, unless you've
Unless
got.
there's- How many sets of turnout gear do you have? 'Cause, you know,
I got 6 good sets and 4 expired.
see, we're short on turnout gear too.
Yeah.
Because we had more than
That-
that.
That's about about $1,850 a set. That's what it would cost to replace.
So you have 6
I have
functioning
6
right
good
now.
sets
Okay.
and 4 that is expired.
So they still,
Lifespan's 10 years.
so they still owe us 4 sets, because we had 10 sets of gear. We had 10 good sets, not counting old stuff. 10 new sets that we had bought.
And the only thing else I have, I guess I told you guys done, but I want to share with you, and Johnny might be able to help us on this. I received a call on Friday evening from Chief Musar. I immediately called Andy after that call. All of Arcadia's hydrants are down. Is that true?
For the most part, as far as firefighting, we had no water in the air due to the tower being drained for painting,
And so
maintenance.
if they need water, they'll be coming north, or they'll be going south of Cicero. And I talked to Andy, and he says underneath the tower is where we'll, and one thing I will work with, and I know he mentioned that he needs to know how much water is taken from the system through the unmetered water is what you called it.
It's unaccounted for.
We'll work with that. We'll make that happen.
I just need a load count and the size of the truck.
So,
That'll be approximately for about a month or so with the painting, the maintenance at the tower and stuff, so it'll be approximately a month.
but you don't, no other, and I'll share this again, I'll reiterate it tomorrow night with Chief Musar, but no other hydrants in town, because it stirs up the system.
Yeah, I just don't,
Okay,
I don't want to.
and we can, and that makes it easy too. We can set up a fill station there at the,
There's no, I mean, there's just no issues using the one at the tower. You know, it's coming off a 12-inch water main right at the tower.
okay. Okay, well, again, share that and reiterate that tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's any department around us that would come into town, whether it be Cicero Township or something
Right.
just on the other side.
Most of them know to go to the tower
Yeah.
already.
So, okay, that's all I have for tonight, and I hope that as we go into this a little farther, that list gets shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
So,
Would it be possible, Jerry, to compile a list of what we started with and what we have now?
We have a
And
full
attach-
inventory list.
And attach a dollar amount to that?
I can
Just
try.
a rough estimate, a dollar amount.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
shocked, I think,
Yeah.
with.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
like to know that figure.
Heartbroken.
I will try to start and work on that before the next meeting.
Thank you.
That's some useful information at this point, where we're at.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Jerry, thank you. It's fantastic. All right, we'll move on to our clerk report this evening.
You want to skip over and let's do Jim first?
Yes, we can do that. Mr. Frizell.
Came here for two reasons. One, just so you don't forget who I am, since it's been a while. Okay, contractor obviously hasn't started, but, you know, they're doing the shop or anything at this point, so schedule's still what it was when we first last met. We owe IDEM a plan for the wastewater plant. This is an outgrowth of the early warning letter. So what I brought tonight, and this is just the first time, these guys haven't seen it either. So I'm gonna give you a copy of these things to read through, so everybody gets a chance to look at it, and I'm gonna come back up and talk to you about it. I've been a little vague in this because I really don't wanna get things started. We don't have to get started, but we do owe IDEM this report. Okay? I think I brought you 7, I lost 2 of them today downtown.
I've got 1, 2, I've got 5 here, so.
Okay.
Andy, I'll let you read one of these.
And that's really it. There wasn't, just making sure everything's okay.
Thanks, Fred.
Yeah.
Probably can email it to you if you want.
Yeah,
we can do that
got
too.
my email address.
Yep.
Okay.
You take your time and we'll
Yeah.
set up a time
So
just to
this
talk
is a
about it.
requirement
Yeah, this is,
for our last project that we did.
yeah, the commitment was in there. It's on the
Yeah.
second letter.
It's
so-
from, it's that letter of they gave us early ban notice because of I-9 in our system.
Yeah. And theoretically, that was, it's the second letter in there. I gave you all the background for it. So that was,
Is there a deadline?
It was December 12th of 2016.
we passed,
Yeah.
we passed what we said in this letter that you guys signed, we drafted for you. But we asked for 180 days from the date of this letter,
Which was,
June 12th. But we never got acknowledgements from IDEM either. So we know they've got it, but they never acknowledged it to a start time, so we haven't panicked about it at this point. They haven't.
issue is, they say we're overloading our plant. But my argument with them was, when I talked to Rose McDaniels a little bit about this. She says they're not as concerned about ponds, but from Kim, I get a whole different story. But my argument is, to me, it is irrelevant how much rainwater we send to the sewer plant, because I'm not even discharging. So the water goes and it sets, but they're saying we're beyond our design capacity of 80,000 gallons a day is the crux of it, because our PDS permit is based off 80,000 gallons a day flow,
So every time you exceed that,
which is all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, now that we're drying up here, it's coming down, but during any kind of a rain event. I mean, it's not like it used to be before the stormwater project where it goes crazy, but it's still, we're
30,000 isn't much when you're
No,
putting 60,000 under the plan.
right, it's
I mean,
not, no.
Normally in a tight system, you see 80% of what the water plant pumps.
Okay.
At the wastewater plant, so you're over that most of the time. I think your average is about 140, and we talked to Andy a while ago about the meter and where we're sampling, because the sampling, it was not just hydraulic load, it was also an organic load. So we adjusted where Andy was sampling, and that's come way back down again, so now it's strictly hydraulics. That's all in that report. But we need to talk about it. I need to know where you guys wanna go with it. This is a starting point.
Okay. So can we plan on doing that at the next meeting?
Sure. Maybe before the meeting, if you wanna have it's up to you guys, whenever you want to.
How much time is it?
It's up to you.
We might have something before the next meeting with me.
Okay.
I'd suggest reading it.
Okay.
And then having Andy get back to me about schedule and how much time.
Okay.
You'll get a sense for what we're talking about there.
Okay.
I mean, the goal here is to diffuse any issues.
Right. We
Okay.
don't want to, we don't want to get crossways with right in
Right.
at all.
So if you have any questions during the process, just give me a call.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Let you know when the schedule changes on the rest of it.
Yeah. Appreciate your patience.
It's a fire department.
We're just getting started back up. So.
Yeah, I got you. All right, thank you all.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Robin, you wanna jump back to you or?
Yeah, I kind of added to it. First of all, I would like the council to authorize you to go ahead and move forward with, looking into the TIF district and actually getting it established. Because with everything that is going on with the train and Mr. Muffin's on Main Street and everything, now's the time. Now's the time. It's not, I mean, it will cost us upfront to establish it, but, you know, any improvements that they do that increase the value of the property tax value of their property, that will go directly to the TIF district, which we can use for the area that we established, basically, which could be Main Street, it could include the park area. I mean, we would have to establish an area for it, but now's the time to do it before all of that happens.
What are our costs? And
It could cost us, I don't know, definitely. It could, I'm
Ballpark.
guessing $4,000 to $6,000. I need to nail down Jim Higgins and Manny together because it takes a little bit of both of them. And Manny's fees are kind of on the high side, but Jim already has a lot of the stuff done that Manny is proposing that he could do. So I need to nail that down, but I would really like council's support to pursue it so we can get rolling. I mean,
If I understand this correctly, this just increases our tax revenue, correct?
it does, because it's gonna go, their property values are gonna increase. And so they're gonna pay more property taxes. And all that does is that increase, we capture that. I mean, we're gonna get it anyway, but we capture it specifically for the TIF district.
Just the additional
Yes,
increased tax.
yes. Yeah,
What does TIF stand for?
tax increment funding.
Good question. I didn't know what it stood for.
Cicero has two areas,
Yeah.
condos on the lake
Uh-huh.
and the little strip center south of the dollar, or south of the bank area on 19. Those are the two TIF districts in Cicero.
Well, would someone like to make a motion tonight? We give Robin the green light to,
I'll
Move
make a
forward with
motion to
this.
give Robin the green light to move ahead on the TIF district.
I'll second.
How long does
What?
it take to make up that $46,000 in tax rate?
I'm not sure. I asked Jim Higgins that, you know, would it even be, you know, would it be worth it for us to do that, to, you know, to offset that? And he said definitely is all. I mean, he's, and Manny keeps emailing me. He's like, Robin, you guys need to be doing this. You need to be doing this. So,
So what area would we want to
Well, first we
considers
would
it
need to
just-
establish a redevelopment commission, which could be you all. And then, it doesn't have to be though. I mean, we could get, you know, citizens involved in it, which would be great. And then we, what'd you ask me?
That's a lot of areas that
Yeah.
we
Then
consider
the
being in
redevelopment
the.
commission would establish that area. And, I mean, it would only make sense that it would be like from,
Area that would be
from-
beneficial that's gonna be
yeah, from
improving
Mr.
their
Muffin's
properties.
down to Fletcher's, and I would say all the way down to the fire station. You know, that whole area, including the park and the gazebo and,
Now, the revenue that we generate from that, can it be spent
In the tip.
just in the tip fund?
It's like
Yes.
an infrastructure, I
yes.
believe.
Like streets, curbs, sidewalks,
Siding,
lighting.
stormwater stuff, any improvements in your tip. Noblesville has several. They got some big ones.
Improvements to the shelter house.
Yeah, because we could include the park.
Yeah.
Cool.
We should include the park.
So you made the motion.
Like, we made the motion, didn't
Yeah,
we?
motion, Jody seconded.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And then this, I just put this on here because I just am so excited about it. I got tired of turning things over to collections when people skipped out, so the people that are like hiding in plain sight, we took them to small claims court. We had two. One settled, right before we went to court, paid everything in full, and the second one, settled like right when we got to the judge, and we have an arrangement on that one. So, I'm excited. The small claims court, I think, is the way to go, as long as we know where they are, which a lot of them we do. Our budget workshop was today, so our budget hearing will be September 12th to 7, and our budget adoption will be September 26th. And then I'll get with you guys so we can just, you know, have a budget workshop amongst us and get it fine-tuned. I had a vendor, I don't remember which one, food vendor. She's gonna be at festival, but she said that Mr. and Mrs. Muffin wanted to know if she could set up, and I forget if we talked about this, when they have events, and she wanted to know what the vendor, does she have to pay that $50 every time? How does she do that legally? Because the $50 pertains specifically to the festival. So let's say a food vendor wants to, they want, you know, the muffins are having an event and they want a food vendor. How does that work?
Well, the first question is, where does the power come from?
It might be a food truck, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I mean, if somebody wants to, you know,
if we're providing electricity to them, I mean, that was the whole purpose of the permits. to-
Well, no, it's in their feed.
Well, yeah.
Feed's $4.90.
When we used to have permits.
Well, they still pay it.
Right.
Yeah.
That was for utilities. Trash. I don't know, how's our ordinance read?
You ought to look at some other ones, you know, other towns have food truck, food vendor
we
ordinances
can
that are
do
separate.
that. Our ordinance addresses permits during the festival, it doesn't say anything about,
Strictly during the Orlando Festival.
so we could do that, just solicit something from other vendors. Okay, and then Princess, was asking me, she's asked me this before, and she just wanted me to bring it up. She can't get flood insurance because the town is not part of the flood program. Didn't we look into that once before? She said her insurance company told her we're not.
I don't know why we're not, we did all that
When did we do that? I don't remember it.
forever ago.
Okay.
National Flood Program.
I don't know.
It's-
I applied, remember we had that?
Yeah, I remember,
I
yeah.
applied for it and, I was denied only because, at that time, I had no existing, drains for above ground water to drain off. That was the only reason.
Yeah, we,
Other than that, it was in effect, had I.
Yes.
So she has the drains there now, and I do too for that matter, but, so I'm assuming that the insurance is still available, you know.
worried about flood, turn the drain down.
Okay, so I'll tell her that we are, but I
Yeah.
don't.
I
It seems to
know.
me that this came up
But-
once before, and I
Well,
tried,
you
I found where
checked
it was
it.
talked
Well,
about
you
in
could-
minutes, but I don't.
Somewhere, because I've seen it, we have the book and all the stuff about the National Flood Insurance Program. I mean, we can always call it, because basically what it does is it allows you to buy flood insurance. We did that, it allows you to buy flood insurance even if you're not in a floodplain.
As long as you have a drain,
Pardon me?
as long as you have a drain.
Well, that was the requirements that was given to me.
Okay.
That was the reason why, my homeowners was canceled, because of, you know. But this here, when you devised this new flood thing, that was the only reason I was denied, because I did not have any existing drains, but that's been rectified. So I'm assuming if I applied for it right now, I could probably get it. You know, I just haven't applied for it.
Okay, I'll tell her that we are. But I'll look, so
Call and
far.
check into it, I think
Lord knows we've had everything else started out of the clock,
there's
so.
something changed.
And I did mention to Princess and also another neighbor that both of them denied having drains when they put my drains in. They both turned it down, they refused the drain. And now they're worried about flooding insurance, you know. So, you know, it just kind of, things have a way to come back and bite you in the rear end, you know, sometimes.
I remember when we joined the thing, it was at no cost to the county.
Yeah.
It was just a benefit,
Absolutely.
it was just a benefit to people that wanted to get it. Because one of those properties was.
And that section where I'm at, that is a flood zone. Well, they said it was a flood zone.
It's not.
Well,
Not near the grid.
They
it
may
wasn't
say,
a flood
You're
zone
not
when
that
before we put the drains in?
nope, there are no floodplains in the town of Atlanta.
Well, that's what he told me, so.
They may come out and say your ground's low, but there are no, that's why we had to do, that's why when this came up, we had to join it, because there are no
Flood zones.
designated floodplains in the corporate limits of Atlanta.
Okay, so here's my
The
last
county's got a
thing.
map of that. Yeah.
Do what?
Here's my last thing, and I know we don't wanna talk about it.
Okay.
We need to do something about the animal control ordinance. I have had a resident in here, I've had a resident on my porch on Sunday, calling me in the evening. Neighbor's dog barking nonstop, and, you know, when Murray's out of town, Murray's at work when this happens, he can't address it. And, animal control guy, he did stop up here today just because he had a call in Arcadia, so he said he'd come on up here, but 3 days after our meeting, he had a dog bite up here, so we need to quit brushing it under the rug and address it.
Well, I'm personally, I'm in favor of having animal control. That's my opinion. I'm sick of all these strays around here, and I too have had neighbors at my porch complaining. Some of them complaining what I've done with their cats, you know, so.
Well, I did ask him, I said, okay, so let's just say today, I said, if our council, let's say they rescind all of our animal ordinances at the meeting tonight at 7:05, he said at 7:06, the county takes over. He said, you don't even have to adopt ours because you have rescinded yours, so the county automatically takes over.
So in saying rescinding all of our animal ordinances, that's everything on the books.
You have to follow the county.
So they
Where
have
every
jurisdiction
dog has
up
to be
here,
spayed,
but
every cat has to be spayed.
no, we're not adopting their ordinances. So we don't have
And he
to.
doesn't care about that as long as, I mean, if you don't wanna get your dogs spayed or neutered, all you have to do is tell him that, and he's not even gonna know unless there's an issue with your animals. But if you feel like you wanna talk to him about it, he has already told us, I will issue them a breeder's permit. He said it's $5, I am not here, he's not gonna go door to door seeing whose animals are spayed and neutered.
But if we're not adopting the county ordinance, then how can he enforce that in our jurisdiction?
'Cause that's how it goes. That's why the town passed an ordinance saying we had our own. If we don't have any, theirs would apply, those in state statute. That's why that ordinance got passed when it did. Which led back to the almost $200 an animal. That was the other thing, because if they take an animal from here and take it down there, we pay the bill.
But he's not sure about that. First of all,
Okay.
he said that, we would keep it the same as what we are right now, where we would put our animals that we find in our own kennels. Because
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, more than that, we find who owns them. And he said that he's not sure how it would work because they are a police department, if it would fall under the county, just work under their contract with them or not. But, I mean, he said, we were talking about a worst case scenario, he takes 2 or 3 animals at the most from Atlanta a year. I mean, we could pay that if we had to.
We budget.
And then he also said, and if you found out that that wasn't working, then we could put the brakes on it and revisit it and come up with something that does work.
I guess I'd like to be able to pick up the phone and make a call and have a animal control officer come to my house.
Me too.
And get
Me too.
an animal,
Well,
be it a,
It is so frustrating when you have somebody
Yeah.
come to you constantly and you're like, I can't do anything, I can't do it, let me see if I can get a hold of Murray.
And that's
Murray's
not-
at work, it's
or Andy, or,
Embarrassing.
Andy's not the dog catcher.
But what I always love the people that bring me someone's dog that I know is a pet and bring it to my house at like 9 o'clock at night. My mom said to bring this dog to you, and I go, you get this over on the corner? And I say, yeah. I say, take it back here and turn it loose. I mean, I got 3 dogs here that I pick up all the time and take home. They get out. I mean, one of them I whistle at and she'll jump in my truck.
He knows you first.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, the dog will go whoop, right in the truck, and I take it down there. But
It's those that get dropped off and
the thing of it is we almost never have any strays. I mean, I can't tell you, I would have to go back and look for sure, because the last one I found a home for, I put an ad on Craigslist, it has been like 3 years since we had a legitimate stray dog.
Long-term in the kennel dog.
Yeah, that just came up from nowhere, that was nobody's dog that we couldn't find. And since I've worked for the town, I've had 3. One is my dog, and the other 2 I found homes for. So in 5.5 years, we've had 3.
which if he was willing just to pick them up and put them in our kennel until,
But I mean, most of the time it's somebody's dog here
but
in
he'd
town.
still be working with us instead of
A tag or a chip or
taking them all down there.
something.
So if we,
I just feel like we're doing our citizens a disservice by
I agree.
burying our
if
pets.
we revoked all our pet ordinances, the only real issue, from what I understand, is people, the only issue that people would be questioning is those people who have breeding stock, dogs or cats. And if we rescind the orders, then the county can force people to spay and neuter their pets. Is that correct?
That's not what they do though.
They don't force it.
They can't, it's in the ordinance,
Yeah.
it's in the ordinance, but like, you know.
So what I'm trying to get in my head is the question here is the people, whoever that might be in Atlanta, some are against having their pets and neutered or spayed, is that correct? So that's the reason why we had the ordinance done. So if we rescind all that, where are we at with the spading and stuff?
You get a permit.
You said something about he would issue you a breeding
You can
license.
have it $5, he'll give you a breeder's license, but he's really not gonna even know.
I understand
you
it,
know,
but what I'm
unless
trying to
his
say
dog
is-
bit somebody.
If somebody has a dog or a cat, who really are going to breed it, that's $5.
Exactly.
$5 is nothing.
Don't let it out.
Here's my question, if we rescind all of them, then what happens when people wanna start bringing cows and pigs and everything else into town because in county, you're permitted to do that, and that's one of our ordinances that protect us from being a farm community. You can have anything, everything you want in your
You
backyard.
couldn't
Look,
rescind,
it would
you
be,
can't,
it would be, you can't have cows in Noblesville,
You can-
and they have the county ordinance.
no, you,
or
I mean,
in
you
Westville.
you can't rescind them all.